Welcome to Spending Time with Noodles. This your guy, Daryl Noodles Nolan. Once again, as always, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to spend some time with me. It's always a pleasure because you could be doing anything else, but when you take time out to spend time with me, it's greatly appreciated. We're going to get right into this thing. You know what? Because I'm excited to have a like-minded brother in the studio with me. And when I say like-minded, I'm saying, along the lines of about positivity, about pouring into others, just about doing the right thing. No crab in the bucket mentality. This brother's about uplifting others. And we're going to get into them details. Take that to the bank, baby. So let me tell you a little bit about him. He's from the D, from Detroit. Unfortunately, he didn't graduate from Mumford High School,
I went to Mumford, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I ain't going to give your name yet, but you attended Mumford. You're going to share the story after. Don't worry, we're going to get into them details. But he's an alumni of Henry Ford High School, them Trojans, y'all. Located over there off Evergreen, close to 27, 8 Mile. But we know who that is. Y'all know where that's at. He's also alumni of the University of Detroit Mercy. His brother's educated. He served as a youth and high school football coach. He's in the sports, athletic. He's a consultant. He's a writer. He's penned a book. His book, which I purchased yesterday. When I get home this evening, trust me, I'm going to read a couple pages of it before I go to bed tonight.
Okay.
Because see, one thing about me, I do research. And when I went online and I looked at the table of contents, bro, and I'm being honest with you, man, it was spiritual. God said, you need to read this. And I'm just excited about it. So as I said, man, I'm going to say the best for last. I'm going to say the best for last, and I'm not diminishing all of your accomplishments. You're a black business owner. And many of you know I go hard in the paint supporting black-owned businesses. Because now in the times in which we're living, if we don't support one another, shame on us. This brother has a restaurant in Belleville. It's called Coach's Chicken and Shrimp and Fish. I consider myself, y'all, a chicken wing aficionado. I'm an expert in the chicken wing game. You talk to some of the cats I used to hang out with, they'll tell you. This is a true story. Back during my working days, we took a trip from Detroit to Atlanta. We're in the airport in Detroit. I think I consumed about maybe 12 or 15 chicken wings. We got to the ATL. I consumed some more chicken wings. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. Me and one of the guys, I said, man, I'm still hungry, bro. We got to find a spot that's open. When we got to the airport coming back to the D, man, they said, Noodles, we did a little checking, man. We did a little math. We think you almost ate probably about 100 wings during the time we was in Atlanta. I said, you know what? You might be right. But check this out, coach. This past weekend, man, I had somebody bring me some of your lemon pepper wings. Baby, I didn't have to wash my hands outdoors. I don't know why, because my hands were clean. The lemon pepper, baby, the chicken, ooh, wee. I was like, yum, 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 yum. Facts. The Bomb Diggity is located in Belleville. If you have not experienced, I encourage you. You want to go check it out. You will not be disappointed, baby. Guaranteed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure. It's my honor. I call him Coach, but I got brother Orlando Stevens spending time with Noodles, my brother. How you feel today?
I'm good. I feel special. Nobody ever introduced me with ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, what that mean? No, I feel good, man. I'm feeling good.
Your energy is good, brother. You know what, man? I want to thank you for something. Because when I was promoting comedy shows out in Belleville at the Diamond Bag, man, you opened up your spot. Anytime I needed to do some promoting, put flyers in your spot, man, you weren't a hater. And I want to thank you for that. And I've always thanked you every time I was there when you were there. But I want to do it on Spending Time with Noodles, letting y'all know this brother gets down with other like-minded people, okay? Facts.
And that was crazy. That's the first time I met him. I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking. It's hot as hell. Everybody. People on my cashier. I tell all the time. Don't tell. If somebody say, "What coach at?" I'm not. Don't just. No. I'm not here. But she had told me you was out there. We started talking or whatever.
Yeah.
Told me about the comedy show. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool, you know. And I left it at that because people come in all the time putting in flyers, putting in flyers. And I usually don't. Sometimes I'll let it be but some people, when they put, you know, you don't come in, you don't spend no money. It's not all about money. It's more or less about building a relationship. But if you just come in and drop off your flyers and that's that, you know, I'm like, damn, but it is what it is. But with you know, you kept coming in, banging the chat.
That part.
And not to realize that, you know, we end up right here.
You know what, man? And I'm going to tell you, my prayer to God is always put me around like-minded brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell them, and I'm going to say this, and I mean it. I met two amazing brothers yesterday I had a meeting with. And this one gentleman in particular, when he told me his age, I said, you're lying, the truth ain't in you. He said, man, I'm 70 years old. I said, bruh, I'm 58, and I know I look like I'm 58, 59, probably 60. I said, bruh, if I had to guess your age, I would have gave you 53. I would have lost. You remember the game at Cedar Point, Guess Your Age?
Yeah.
I would have lost my money. But he shared something with me, and I know it's nothing but God. This brother in our conversation happens to be a musician. So you know about John Lawrence, the jazz event that takes place up in Ipsy. You familiar with it?
I'm not.
John Lawrence does a jazz show every summer, goes on for X number of weeks. Come to find out, the brother that I'm chatting with, man, he's into the guitar. So he's like, man, I'm a little rusty with it. I said, baby, come on, man. I said, you need to pick up that instrument, man. Because I said, we grown folks, us mature folks, we love that sexiness, especially with them instruments. So I said, how about this? I said, okay, God, I need a little help. He been a little resistant. I picked up the phone, I called John, but before I called John, he pulled out his phone and Googled it. And he was blown away relative to how big of a deal John Lawrence is. He was like, wow. So I picked up the phone, called John. They had a conversation. He walked away. I said, that brother better bring my phone back. He was gone for about 5 minutes. So that let me know.
Going on through your phone.
I ain't giving to a woman now. I said, I get to a brother. I ain't get to no woman.
Hey, people might be, hey, no, keep my phone right here.
I was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I know.
I'm talking shit.
So with that being said, so man, I gotta ask you a question. You know, I call you coach. As a young kid growing up, did you participate in sports actually? Were you an athlete?
I was more in this street athlete, playing pick 'em up, fuck 'em up in the street, basketball everywhere.
Okay.
I wanted to be a NBA superstar. That was my dream. You know, and until I got to, I think in 9th grade, I tried out for Henry Ford's basketball team.
Okay.
Didn't make the team, but I'm like, you know, I remember that Michael Jordan story, so I'm like, I'm gonna go out again. Man, realized I'm not getting no taller, but I'm getting wide as hell. So I'm like, there ain't no room for a 6'1", 200-some-pound guard. It ain't gonna work, especially not even before they had a lot of good ballers there.
Right.
They had Mo Taylor there that year. They had Mark Muhammad. They had some good
That's right, Mo Taylor. That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Some good guys. So it's like I wanted to play Little League football, but my dad just wasn't. Every week he was, oh, I'm gonna pay. And he never paid that $65 to play football. So I didn't play until my junior year of high school. And that was in Mumford.
I was at Mumford. What year we talking, Coach? What year we talking?
Okay, I was there for it.
Okay.
I didn't get kicked out, but I got into a fight with some guys over there or whatever. And but that was my neighborhood. My mama and them wasn't feeling that. They sent me over to my grandma. I went to Mumford my second part of my 10th grade and my 11th grade year. I played football there my first year in 91, 92 year, I think it was.
Okay, all right.
And I did pretty good. And then I went back to him before I fought my way out of Mumford. I don't want to be there.
You fought your way, like literally for them blows?
Yeah, my grandmother lived on Ohio and Thatcher, not too far from. So I didn't want to be there. I was, but the crazy part, I was an honor student there. I played football there with Derek Mason. Yeah, Derek Mason played football there.
Okay, all right.
He went on to play Michigan State. Tennessee Titans, had a good career. And so other good guys. He's not just the only guy. He was, But I was just destined to get back to 4. And so I just fought. Anytime anybody had a problem with me, I didn't shy away from him. When you got look for him. And I fought and fought.
And see, you know what, Coach, you're right. See, back during when we were in high school coming up, because you in your 50s, I'm in my 50s, everything was very territorial. You had the 8-mile sconies, you had them 7-mile BMK, whatever they call themselves. And you had the boys from 6 Mile, which I was a 6-mile guy. And you had the Finkel Cats, you had the Puritan boys. But back then, we fought with fists. Now, it's a whole different, man. They pulling out straps. And that's why I stay away from that foolishness.
Yeah.
But man, that's the, man.
So I don't know. I ended up, it was crazy because I went to a guy where I had a fight with him.
Okay.
And got the better of him. And it was him and a couple of guys that got the better of them. And he was just kept saying, if I had a chance, if I could do it over again, dog, I'll whoop your ass, whatever. So I wanted to get out of school. So I wanted to get out of Memphis so bad. I walked up to him. I waited for his class to end. He walked out. I was like, you want another chance? He said, yeah, I hit him. I know, I swear, I just got on my life just like that. I hit him. He hit the floor. I walked down to the principal's office and told on myself. Because it's crazy because the security guard, Marquise Hodges, got arrested. So he was a Henry Ford coach. So he kept saying, we're going to get you back over 4.
Okay.
But it was crazy. When I tried out for 4 my 9th grade year, he was the one kicking me off the team. He was like, get up out of here. So by then, I ended up going back there for it. And they were pretty good, Grades were bad. I did good my junior year, but before I got to Mumford, it was all messed up. Grades were horrible.
Okay.
So, you can't do good 9th and 10th grade, then 11th and 12th grade and think it's all good.
That part.
It runs up to
that part.
It adds up to a 1.5.
Woo, Lord.
So I said to go to JUCO route, ended up going to school in Minnesota, played JUCO ball in Minnesota. Okay. But by the time then, I had 2 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had one and one on the way. I had my first
young dad, huh?
I went to COD, College of the Desert in Palm Desert, California, right after high school. Got into a fight, the coach kicked me out, said,
Hey, you just want to beat people up, huh?
No, this guy, he hit me, and the coach, he hit me when I was laying down sleeping, and I was on the floor sleeping like this. He walked over, hit me with a remote control. We started fighting. And then the coach was like, well, get back on the football field.
Okay.
I said, no. And I see him, I'm going in this shit. And me being just a young dummy. But then too, I had a motive too, to be honest, if I can be honest with myself. I had just found out that my son was on the way, that mom was pregnant. When I got down there, I called her, she told me she was pregnant. So my mind wasn't even on staying there. I wanted to get back home. And so I ended up going back home. He was born March 15th, 1994.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, I was in the streets and didn't want to be in the streets. And I'm like, damn, I got a son and then I'm about to have another one. I got one on the way. I can't be no street nigga. Right. I want to end up dead. I want to be in jail. So I was smart, always smart. And when I applied myself, so I ended up going to JUCO in Minnesota and Bloomington, Minnesota. It was Normandale. They lost their program. They sent us to Rochester, Minnesota. I finished up there with my associate's degree and decided to walk away from football at that point.
What position did you play when you were playing football?
Defensive line.
Wow.
I played offensive line too. It was crazy because when I got to Normandale, they wanted me. I played both sides of the ball in college. He was like, "We're gonna get you in shape."
Oh, you were before Travis Hunt, both sides.
I didn't want to do that. They made me play both sides of the ball so I can get in shape. But it worked out, man. It worked out.
Okay.
I ended up getting my associate's degree from out there in Rochester, Minnesota, and it was like I applied for UAD and I applied for Wayne State, and I said, well, if I get accepted to Wayne State, I'll try to continue to play football. But it's hard when you in your early 20s and you got 2 kids, 2 sons. So UAD accepted me, and I went to an interview there with them or whatever. Cause I was slightly below the requirements. You got to have a 3.0. I had a 2.9. So they wanted to meet with me and they, you know, to do a character check and interview type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were impressed. So I ended up going to UD. I finished up there in a degree in developmental psych. And
You get up in people's heads, huh?
man, I had to get in my own hair first. You know what's crazy is that
It's a blessing.
you know this spot. It's a real interesting story about this.
We got time to bury it.
When I was at UAD, I was just born. I was a single father. Both my sons were young. They were like in single digit ages, and me being a single father, they about two. Both my sons about two different women.
Right.
I wanted my sons to be together, so I asked them both, "Can I have my kids?"
Wow, really? And I declare that you took custody of your sons.
Yeah, I had custody of one, but the oldest one, his mom, he was locked back and forth with his mom.
Okay.
But my youngest son stayed with me all the way through. And
That's what's up.
I always tell people I won for the fellas because I was getting child support checks from mom. So, hey, I won, fellas. but no, so I ended up, when I was at UAD, I graduated and I went to, after I had finished, I went to my cousin's graduation at Jackson State. I didn't even attend my graduation at UAD neither. I went to my cousin's graduation at Jackson State, but I kept hearing them say, like, cum laude, so-and-so, summa cum laude, this person, magna cum laude, that person. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever, that your name be announced with accomplishments like that.
Absolutely.
And I said to myself, damn, if I could do it all over again, I would study harder to reach that type of accomplishment. God in my way, this is the honest God truth. Because I owe you a decent money, I didn't get my degree off the bat. I had to pay. It took me some years to pay off what I owed them before they mailed me my degree. I just had a copy of my transcript. And so when I finally paid it off, I finished up there in 2003. I think to like 2005, I paid off what I owed them. But they sent me my degree. I swear to God, it said cum laude, y'all.
They said cum laude?
Cum laude.
Really?
Yeah, so I graduated with honors from UAD.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, and then you try. That's the crazy part about it. I always have my kids in the classroom with me. They coloring and stuff, and I was like, I couldn't get a babysitter that day, so I was like,
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Ah, that's a hell of a story, bro.
So,
you know what? I salute fathers that play an intimate role in the development of their children.
Yeah.
So, man, shout out to you, especially as a black dad, because you know what? A lot of black fathers, man, that did what you do, and they don't get the credit they deserve. So I'm saying, man, much love and respect. That's why when I say like-minded, I knew this would be the beginning when I used to come up in your spot, which I still support to this day.
Appreciate that.
I was like, there's something about that brother, something about me. God gonna make sure we collaborate.
Yeah, I
You feel me?
appreciate that. Yeah.
So, man, we're talking about the topic of sports. I want to segue into something. I know, of course, the story behind it. But, man, you know what? I got to give a shout out to the Detroit Pistons. Why? Detroit Pistons are balling right now.
Yeah.
And we thought the Lions had an amazing season. Shout out to the Detroit Lions, yes.
Yeah.
Pistons in the playoff, bringing a new coach, bringing some new talent.
Yeah.
Veteran players, young, up-and-coming, talented players. But, baby.
Yeah. They do.
I'm in the loop on something, but I want you to share something. You related to one of the players that balls for the Pistons. You shared with us prior to us airing the show, or taping the show, I should say. Gave him a shout out on the phone, was trying to get him actually on the podcast show and join us.
Yeah.
Who's your cousin, bro? Who's your cousin?
Beasley. Malik
Beasley,
yeah.
Baby. A beast on the court. 3-point shooter, baby.
Yeah. That's my first cousin. My mom and his mom, my sisters.
That's what's up.
So, yeah. And it's crazy because my youngest son and Malik is the same age. And when OJ was born, that's my son.
Wow.
OJ was born, I was like, oh, he going to the NFL. And when Malik was born, his dad and mom was like, oh, he going to the NBA. So we kind of pushed our kids with sports. I think, if I'm being an honest person, I think I kind of, I don't think I broke my son's spirit by being his coach. It's different being a kid's coach and a fan, a parent. and I was his coach for 4 years and was hard on him. And you know, I don't know if, I think he could have definitely went further with it, but he didn't. Me and his mom at times were kind of like, he didn't get the support that Malik had got. And not to say that, cause my auntie and my uncle with Malik is, man, they are my, I call them right now for support.
Oh wow,
They are they are everything. So
Okay.
you know, they have a zero tolerance policy when it comes down to pursuing your dream. It's not quitting. You're not gonna quit. You're gonna push.
I like that. I like
And
that.
so that was, you know, that was the thing for me. They knew what it was when he was born. Like, this was gonna be. He's gonna be a first round pick, and that's what he is. That's what he was. And you know, so yeah, I was the one where when he was younger, my auntie would bring him to Detroit and have him stay a couple of weeks and stuff. He would be with me. His sister would be with my other family, my sister or my grandmother, whatever. And you know, that's just he spent his time.
So how did you feel, man, when the Detroit Pistons signed him? How did that make you feel, man? How did you feel?
I felt good. I felt like it was perfect for him. Knowing what he is capable of doing, and I watched from the outside looking in, everybody, all the other teams kind of just keep him on the wing. You know, I wouldn't allow him to play ball like he can play ball. This guy could really go. And so I was happy to see he was going to be in the place that was going to let him. Take the chains off of him, like, you know, and appreciate him being a veteran and his knowledge for the game. So I loved it. When they said they signed him, I was like, that's what's up.
That part, man.
It's a part of me inside like, damn, I hope they don't trade him. I hope they don't, you know, I hope they match whatever and go, okay, get money, stay here because he family, you know.
You don't want me to call him Tom Gore's man. Get on the phone with Tom.
I think what he's doing is solidifies everything now. I think, you know, now he's in a great place, and you know, we're gonna see what, you know, whatever God got planned for him is coming as well.
That part. This is his journey, it's his assignment.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm sure he believe it. If he's not supposed to be here, he will be here.
That part.
You know.
I mean, it's part of his journey. Just like you got your journey, I got my journey. Everybody.
His journey came right through here, double back. It started.
That's what I'm saying. He used to spend time in the D.
Cause my aunt is from here. My aunt was she was from here. She left. From my understanding, she left Detroit, but she was like 17 and went to New York and started modeling and doing her thing. And it's like, and Malik got you know, his family. They talented. They not. That's why the most talented family I know.
You part of it. Hey, you have family, bro.
Yeah, I've been telling his daddy, man, when you want to adopt me, man. I tell him right now, hey man, when you want to adopt me, I want to be a BC. Hey, I hyphenate this thing, Orlando Stevens Beasley. We can get it.
So you hyphenate
I tell him all the time, man. But no, I love them. They are that's my support system.
Okay.
You know, me and Malik, we have a great relationship. You know, is it what it is? It's that. Yeah.
Well, like I told Coach, I said, you get a hold of your cousin, you let him know whenever he wants to come on and spend time with Noodles.
I tried.
We made that happen. I know you did, man.
Way up here, like, dog.
Hey.
I said, you want to hit this podcast with me? And he was like, what you say? And that's why I knew that was the. And I said,
well, you got to get ready for the game.
Yeah.
When's the next game, by the way? What is that?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Okay, good.
You got
Come on, Pistons, bring home that win, baby. LCA gonna be off the hook. I'll be at the crib watching it because, you know,
shit, I'm trying.
If you get some tickets, bro, you need somebody to drive you down there, Coach, I got you, baby.
I got you down there.
Hey, and matter of fact, the weather gonna be so nice, I'll be in a slingshot. So I'll pick you up in a slingshot, baby, we roll.
My girl might be like, you gonna...
Oh, well. You know what?
Nah, it's you know, we gonna see how everything unfold. No, I understand. If everything unfold, we gonna see how it work out, man. I would love to be in the game, to be there to support him, but I could watch it from home would be just as satisfied.
That part.
You know.
That part, I understand that. So, you know what, now I got a question for you.
Okay.
You're a coach, of course, and I definitely know the high school, of course, and but I want you to share it. Where did you coach high school football at?
The last place was at Belleville. I coached there for a little bit. I coached at Renaissance for a minute. I coached at Southfield Lathrop High School for a little bit. Just when I say a little bit, it's crazy because none of these high school experiences completed the season. I didn't complete the season with none of them. And it was because there was something crazy going on with every last one of them. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And I'm one of the people, I call bullshit out. And if I see bullshit, I just can't be involved with it. And it could be the smallest thing, like if a kid, I believe if I'm coaching these Cooper kids, I've always been offensive line, defensive line coach. I'm coaching the offensive line, and you might have a kid that's a great talent, but don't put their effort in. But yeah, you still want to play him and start him. I cannot operate under no type of value.
That's that's all respect.
I got to go home. I was with Belleville. I'm still cool with the coaches, but it just wasn't like right when they entered that semifinals in 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018. I walked away from it. Instead of the kids identifying that conflict, I just remove myself, respect them. Same with Renaissance. And when I was at Southfield Lathrop, it was something with the OC. The head coach at the time didn't approve of the offense he was running for whatever reason. And he fired the OC. The OC left. And I came with him, so I'm walking with him.
What's loyalty? What's loyalty? Life, bro.
I mean, I was there with Cole now.
That part.
So
you bounce, you bounce.
Yeah, I'm out.
Respect.
So, and it's I've never just got that long, with the fingers. It's always about respect. I'm explaining myself, and I'm gonna
exit the right way.
Yeah, got to.
That part, man. You know what? Like I said, when I did my research on you, and then I read your bio a few minutes, opening the show. You're a writer, you're an author. You penned a book, and the book that you penned is titled "Emotionally Driven: The Truth Behind the Black Male's Behavior."
Yes. Yeah.
So, of course, I do my research, and as I said to you, man, your book is deep and so scurry. Just going through the table of contents. And that's why I was like, I'm getting this book. So it'll be sitting at the crib when I get there. And I'm excited about getting into it. But what inspired you? What inspired you, bro, to write a book that definitely targets us black men, the black males? What inspired you?
I was working at a place called GrowthWorks in Canton.
Okay.
And I was a youth specialist there. And I was doing everything they had within their program. Teaching anger management, going to the Wayne County Juvenile Detention Center, teaching violence prevention. I was certified in violence prevention, so I brought to them a program through their RACI program. It was a second step violence prevention program. I kind of was a trainer and educator on that. I was doing youth and family groups with GrowthWorks throughout Western Wayne County, the schools. I was in reference schools, Plymouth, Canton school districts, Belleville, all the schools pretty much in Wayne County, and the courts as well. And so one of the things that we used to do in the group was we used to write on the board, "Hi, my name is so-and-so," whatever your name was, we would say, "Hi, my name is." Then we would put the 6 basic emotions, which are mad, glad, sad, afraid, ashamed, and hurt. Mad, glad, sad, afraid, ashamed, hurt. And so I noticed that the black males in these groups will only feel comfortable expressing 2 of those emotions. And it was glad and mad.
Wow.
And so I would remove those because we understand that every day throughout the process of a day, you're going to experience each one of those emotions to a high intensity or a low intensity. Whether it's mad, glad, sad, afraid, ashamed, hurt, it could be anything. Like, for example, I could then walk in the building and seen a guy cussing a woman out, and it would like been I might have felt sad for that young lady or whatever, or I could have been driving or somebody cut me off, or instantly I might have been mad. Shame, I could have met somebody who didn't remember who who knew me. I didn't know them, and I felt a level of shame about it. But I move on from it quick. So you're going to experience all of these throughout the day. And so our goal was to get them to understand that. But it's easier and more comfortable for them to say, hey, I'm mad or I'm glad. Because you don't have to think about those emotions. That's just, it happens. We encourage our young males to be mad. To get mad, like in football, get mad, man, don't let nobody push you around, fuck that, We encourage that type of behavior. So they feel comfortable doing that. So I erase those. Like, no, you gotta. So then I put it would be up there: ashamed, afraid, hurt, and sad. And wait, mad, glad, sad, afraid, ashamed. I will remove the mad and glad.
Correct.
And so now you got to think about those other emotions, and they would be so pissed. How the hell you gonna make me feel something I'm not feeling? And they would just go, man. They would be upset. So I just started thinking, like, damn, it's a reason for that. It's a reason why those two emotions are the most comfortable expressed emotions. So I really started to think about the way I was raised. And I think I'm the epitome of what an urban black male is. And so when I think about it, like, damn, I started really, really go in depth about it and how I respond to things as an adult, as a father, as an educator. I remember one time I was teaching the anger management class and kicked the girl out, cussed her out, and kicked her out of this anger management class. How the hell can you be an anger management teacher with anger? I said to myself, I gotta fix this problem. But it's the truth. Like, I'm gonna speak my truth, and I'll barely So y'all might hear some things, so I'm all like, it's damn that. But it was I had to really evaluate myself, and when I started to think about everything, why those are the only two comfortably expressed emotions. And so then I started and maybe just write the book. That's what the
sat down in the lab and started writing.
Yeah, it was crazy because the book I had so much content, and then I just right before I sent it to the publishing company, I did a self-editing myself because reason I did the self-editing was because I kept meeting with, at the time it just was female editors, and I would go over the book with them, and they'll do a sample editing. Like they'll take like 10 pages and do an editing, and then they'll send it back to you. And one of the things they kept changing was, instead of saying mad, they were saying angry. Instead of saying male, they were saying man. And I was trying to explain to them it's a difference between a male and a man.
Absolutely.
A man is a responsible adult male. You could be a male and not be a man, but you can't be a man and not be a male. So I'm trying to, and they, I'm saying female, and they saying woman. I'm like, listen, it's not gonna work. I went to 3 editors that was doing that. And then with the whole anger and mad, I'm like, that's not the same. People don't understand being mad and being angry is 2 totally different things.
You know what is it?
Anger is not an emotion. And I keep trying to that's why anger management will never work.
Oh, wow.
If somebody don't understand that with anger management and they try and teach you that, it would never work. You can't tell somebody to go punch a pillow or, go hit a punching bag when you're getting angry. No, you're still releasing that feeling of anger. Once you get to a point of anger, it's over. So you got to modify your behavior. You got to identify, like, a person why I say anger is not an emotion is because a person if you can be angry if you're ashamed, you can become angry if you're hurt. If you can become angry if you're mad, you become angry if you're sad, you become angry. You know what? You can become angry as a result of experiencing other emotions. So how can anger be an emotion? It's a reaction to an emotion.
That part.
And I don't know you're angry until you show me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's an action. And with that being said, it's like it's just, what they come down to evidence, I gotta do it myself. Because they're not. They're going to change my my message. And, I just condensed it, got down to the truth of it, and it's my truths. That's just what it is.
So you know what, as I went through the table of contents and I intentionally on purpose grabbed your book, and I want you to get some cliff notes because I want to go through a few of the chapters in the book. I'm not going to cover each one because if I did that, that's what I ain't going to purchase. But there are some chapters that I want you to give a cliff note. If it's 1 or 2 minute response to it,
okay.
I want you to explain as best you can. Chapter 2 from Bert. It's a rough road to make it to 18.
Man.
Elaborate on that, please.
If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have kids. I wouldn't.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't, because I worry more about my kids than I worry about anything. I have a 15-year-old daughter who might be 16. I got my son is about to be a father, so I'm about to be a grandfather. My youngest son, and my oldest son, I worry about them all the time because I know how hard this world is. I know how harsh it is. And from birth to 18, as black people, we get in our mind that 18 is wrong. It's not wrong. People want to kick their kids out and all that type of stuff. Man, that shit crazy. I would let my son live with me as long as they want to. And it's not saying, oh, you turning them, you making them weak. No. As long as they being productive and I'm going to let them save their money, stack their money if I can, and then step out into this world because this shit is harsh.
It is.
So like from birth to 18, all the shit you got to go through, think about it. Everything you got to avoid. It's different being urban than being anything else. So with being urban, being raised in the Detroit public school, urban school systems, just dealing with peers, with violence, these bogus ass police officers, and just life. Man, this shit is difficult.
It is.
And I'm not saying I love my children. But if I had to just think about it, do it all over again, I wouldn't have had children.
Because we understand the world in which they have more obstacles in front of them than we did when we were coming up.
If I was to have children, it would be in a setting where I was married, I was established, and I wasn't out of race. The environments, all the children, a much more stable environment.
Gotcha.
Because like I say, that's just coming from a man who worry about his kids.
That's
and so, that's just.
So let's just move on over to chapter 3.
Okay, what's chapter? I don't remember the
question is, who's more emotional?
Oh man.
So for me, that's a question. So when you say who's more emotional, who are you referring? Who's that who?
Male or females? I truly feel males are more emotional than females.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, I'm gonna look at my stopwatch. Is there some other questions I gotta ask you? You got 1 minute and 30 seconds to allow.
All right. Okay.
Come on, Cliff, no back. It's saying you.
Okay. So no, I got it. Okay. So the process, being emotional is just the process of expressing your emotions. All right. So there are many ways you can express yourself. If I get somebody to finger, that's expressing myself. If I hit them in their mouth, that's expressing myself. If I storm them off, call them out, type of names, whatever, that's expressing myself. I can write you. You can draw a picture as a form of expression. There's so many ways you can express yourself. So normally people just look at being emotional or expressing your emotion as verbal. So they think women are more emotional because they verbalize it. A woman will tell you exactly how she feels. She'll tell you what these women nowadays, they act like tools. They gonna express this, everybody do. They putting out Roscoe's and everything. They give it to you. But women are normally encouraged as kids to say how they feel verbally. Males are taught to suppress your emotions because it's a sign of weakness when you tell somebody you hurt. If you hurt my feelings as a man and I tell you, bro, you hurt my feelings when you did X, Y, and Z, a lot of people can't accept that. That look like, damn, he weak as hell. But it looks more acceptable if I just go in your shit and start tearing this room up, fighting you. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, You know, that's expression. But males are taught to suppress expressing themselves. So it's going to come out one way or another, whether through is drug use, alcohol abuse, sexual inappropriate sexual abuse or behaviors, violence, anything, depression. It's going to come out. Women, you know, and so when you have when you're a person that you have an outlet to communicate that and it's accepted by others, a woman could tell her friends, tell other people that she's hurt, she's sad, she's feeling this, she's feeling that, they're gonna embrace her. A man to tell his friends that they're gonna part like, nigga, get your shit together.
That part.
Get your mind right, dog. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Part.
Like a woman could be hurt about her dude doing something wrong and her girls are gonna embrace her, they gonna love on her, they gonna hug her and kiss her, tell her, all right, they gonna cry with her. A dude his boy's gonna probably be like, man, fuck that, all these hoes out here, you know, that's how.
Yeah, you preaching, Davey. Preaching, yes,
it's it's an inappropriate expression, and we do that. If I'm gonna say it like this, if females were more emotional than males, it'd be more females in prison.
Ooh, you just whoa. Man, what if the prison? Man, wow, that's a
man, I did 2 years in prison, man. I did 2 years in prison for a violation of my CPL. But when I was in there, that was right before that book came out. I mean, the book came out, then I had to go away for 2 years because I violated my CPL. But when I was in there, it validated everything I felt, everything I learned. And that 9 times out of 10, men are in prison because of they were not able to appropriately express their emotions.
You know what? God is definitely in the midst of this because you actually answered the next question I was going to ask. See, God knows, you know, the time schedule. We got things to do.
First, tell me, oh, we go all the time. I'll take you that time.
Time data management is what it's called, y'all. Time data management.
No, because I got a business I'm running, so I
that part, baby. I'm not passing.
I'm just messing with
the chapter 10. Chapter 10. Violence first mentality. The average black man in urban America has a violence first thought process. Give me 2 minutes response on that, coach.
Yeah, look at everything. Right. I think that's self-explanatory. The first instinct is to fight. You piss me off, you do something to me, we fighting, we shooting, whatever. That's that violence first mentality. And we wear it and we talk about it and we brag about it and it's co-signed by others. And it's encouraged by some of these women. When you see these women and I'm going to get my baby daddy, my this, my that, my brother this, man, that's the violence first attitude. That's the violence first mentality. It's embedded in it. That's what we want to do first. Like they say, shoot first, ask questions later.
You're right, man.
Who the hell lives by that? That's it, man. I'm at a point at 50, soon to be 51. I'm in the process right now of trying to strip myself mentally of everything I've learned being raised urban, because it protected me when I was living in urban America. But once you get outside, it's destruction. It destroys.
Speak us truth. And you know what, man, lately in my conversations with God, I mean, I had 2 young ladies come on my show. One of them lost her daughter at the age of 15 to gun violence in the city of Detroit.
Man, it's crazy.
And since I met her, I was like, I got to ride with you. And what I mean by ride with you, I got to get on your team because why? I'm a black man. And she said something to me, coach. And her and I talk on the regular, man. And she said, it's a pain that a mother that carried a child and she lost her only daughter. She got 3 sons, lost her only daughter. And as God connected me to her, because a lot of people tell you, you know, you got to get over it. You got to move on. No, man, no. She lost her daughter. And guess what? And she said this. She said behind the trigger was a black man.
Yep.
Black men putting their hands on our queens, bro.
Yeah.
Black men. I mean, we've got to do better as a race, as a culture, as a community. And you're right. The first thought thing is, hey, I'm gonna handle it, pull out my strap, and for some of these young cats, it's a badge of honor to go to prison. I'm like, you fool.
Yeah.
You know, I know we get heated sometimes, man. You know, I get a little heated, but I'm like, I got too much to lose now at this age in the game. So I will verbalize what I need to say to somebody. And now, if you come at me inappropriately, I'm going to defend myself.
I'm at a point where I don't want to be in a position to have to defend myself.
I agree.
So I'm avoiding all circumstances, all
That part.
situations.
And yes.
You know, it's like, it can be hard, but I'm that person. If I could be pulling up to a gas station. I see too many cars and keep going. I'll run out of gas. Fuck it. I park around the corner. Have somebody come get me. It's not. That's the thing. I'm not afraid. I don't fear nothing a man can do to me. Cause like whatever a man can do to me, I can do to him. But that is why do I want to get to that point? You know, I just want peace. I don't want to fight. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do all that. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody but myself.
That part. Yeah. That part.
You know. And so it's like I've seen so much murders. It's like we see so much violence in urban cities. It's like damn. It's normal. It's regular. You know, you
become numb.
You cry for a day and then it's over. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
It's something. It's one of these sections here. It talks about. I took at the time it was like Compton, East St. Louis, Detroit, Cleveland, some other cities. I took the numbers for those murders for those cities. I think it was like 10 cities or something like that. And for that year, I think it was like 2011, it was like 2,500 murders. And I did the same number similar for those cities like 2 months ago, and it's more than that now. And the thing is like if you look at the killings, it's so many murders going on throughout urban America. And those numbers adding up. And the study says 98% of, and don't quote me on this, but back then it was like 98% of black males died at the hands of another black male.
You know what, man?
That's
That's what saddens me. That's what hurts me. And that's why I say I share with younger folks. It's because you don't have a knowledge of self. You don't understand what our ancestors went through. See, a lot of people, they want to change the narrative. And I had someone do that. And I said, don't do that. Let me explain something to you. We were indoctrinated when our ancestors were brought over here, which means this was forced on you. When you become an adult, you have no excuse for your behavior. The information right now, bro, is at your fingertips. So when you understand what our ancestors went through, I can't wrap my mind around that, bro. I am blessed because I had the pleasure. The previous job I had, one of the civil rights pioneers, may have been small in stature, but he stood tall as a giant, John Lewis. Got his ass whooped on the Edmund Pettus Bridge down in Alabama. I'm in Tupelo, Mississippi, hanging out with the Congressional Black Caucus. And I'm standing in the lobby, and I say this because young folks need to hear it. I'm standing looking this way. I happen to turn this way. I'm like, oh my God. This is John Lewis. This is the man I've seen in the history books. This is the man I see on TV. This is the man that got his ass whipped to make it better for us as a generation coming up behind him. I said, Mr. Lewis, sir, because I was like, God, you got to help me. I don't know what to say. Took a picture with him, but he said, young man, he said, let's sit down and let's talk. That man poured into me. That's why God said, Noodles, I need you to get off the sidelines. I need you to pour more into these younger folks to get them to understand their history. They got to do some research.
But even my thing is, and I hate to sound like, somebody that's pouring, just saying this negative. Because not negative. It's not negative, Thomas. To me, it's reality. You can show them. You can take them to museums. You can show them videos of people hanging. You can show everything, man. And it's like they'll see it. When they walk away from it, they're gonna forget about it. There's like the parables of Jesus when he was giving the parables of the sower, sowing the seeds on rocky ground or fertile ground and things like that.
Yes.
People they don't get it because that was then. They never lived that. They never lived. They didn't. And then that's not even being taught in the schools no more. Schools aren't the same anymore. When kids leave the house, it's no structure. There's no structure in the household. Then they go to school. No structure in school. They can do what they want to do. I volunteer here for high school every Wednesday, and the volunteer part, all it is me and a good friend of mine, Marcus Jackson. All we do is we greet the kids and we pass out breakfast bars and stuff like that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And man, the energy is starting to get loose. That's starting to loosen up to us. It's been months we've been doing this, but you still getting that, and it's too early. I ain't about to get, that type of attitude.
Wow.
To somebody that's just being present to you. And then they come in and I'm not talking bad about our kids. I'm just hoping that somebody hear this and decide to make a change. Some of these kids come in smelling like they just left out the car baking. I'm talking, and Alex the principal say, "What can you do about this?" She's like, "Ain't nothing we can do about it." So a kid can come to the school smelling like weed, ain't nothing they can do about it. They can't send them home. They can't do none of that. So it's sad, but a lot of the stuff that we learned, think about when we was coming up, a lot of the stuff that we learned was in school. I got my ass paddled by white teachers.
That part. And
my mama didn't go up there and cuss the teacher out. My mama cussed my ass out for getting in trouble.
That part.
My gym teacher had us.
That's the thing. It takes a village to raise us. We have lost that.
It's no more villages.
Let me ask you this, because you know what? Because chapter 13, baby, really blew me away. Chapter 13. And I know we're approaching time, but we got a few more minutes. Chapter 13 talks about being complete emotionally, spiritually, physically. Please elaborate on that.
I'm just at a point where I'm still not complete. So that's being complete on those levels that's a lifelong journey.
That part is an ongoing process.
That's a lifelong journey. I'm not complete, and I'm working to be. And emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, everything. And I'm at a point, and I feel like in order for me to be complete, I got to strip myself of what I learned that made me incomplete. Anytime I look at another person, not just a black man, another person, and want to curse them or act a fool or fight or whatever, that's you incomplete. If love is complete, if you're a loving person in Christ, to me, that's being complete. And it's hard to love when you're taught hate.
You know what, bro?
It's the truth. Like, it's so hard to just be that loving person in Christ. Not love that you get when you got a spouse. I'm talking about humanity, agape. Love. And
yes. Yeah.
It's hard to be that when I've been taught that everybody, not to trust nobody, everybody's an enemy. You can't trust nobody. So it's even times I'm in relationships like, damn, what's the motive?
Yeah.
Ain't no motive, motherfucker. She might just love your ass. But when you bring
that part, yes.
Trust nobody, and then how can you fully support? People be talking about, black is, I support black, but I support black this, blah, blah, blah. how can you fully support anything you don't trust? It's impossible.
You know what, Coach? I gotta throw this area, man, because I know time is amongst us. Like you said, you're a business owner, man. I want you to make sure the business gets handled.
Yeah.
But I want you, bro. We gotta do another segment because there's so much more to cover. It is.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this, and here's the reason behind it. When I met you, God said, I'm gonna bring you together with another like-minded brothers. And the passion that you had, you showing up at Henry Ford High School on Wednesday morning. See, my schedule is clear. I want to join you maybe one Wednesday morning, baby. And I want to be there just to
It's open.
help.
For anybody, I think anybody should go to any school and just ask the principal, can I greet the kids coming in? You know what I'm saying? Hey, parents should do that. It's not hard. It's just, it's like, sometimes I've gotten to a point where it was days where I was like, damn, I got a lot to do with my business. I can't make it today. But I call my boy Marcus, tell him I can't be there. He's like, oh, bro, I got you. Don't worry about it. Like today, I couldn't be there today. I was there last Wednesday. It was for that, but I'll be there next Wednesday. And I might try to slide in there tomorrow, but it has to. I want kids to see a smiling black face.
Because you want to know why? Because the younger kids can't be what they don't see. But if they see Coach, if they see Noodles, if they see some other grown black men that care, God is going to use us as vessels to plant seeds. How does someone get a hold of you, my brother? I know you're a busy man. Trust me.
I'm on Facebook at Orlando Stevens. I'm on Instagram as Old Steve Senior. Shit, they can call up the coaches. They can come up to coaches
and buy some chicken. You ain't getting none free.
And then my staff, I got to give shout out to my staff. My son Jovan Stevens. He works there. He's my staff. He's just not the staff. He's everything to me right now with that. Candace is cool as a fan, baby. Candace is cool as a fan. Stacy, Miss Lola, she's there. So I said I was definitely gonna give them a shot because I couldn't be here right now if I didn't trust it. With
that part.
So yeah, but that's where you can contact me, reach me through there.
How does someone purchase this book, my brother? I already know how to purchase it. I already did it. So how does someone purchase your book?
Amazon right now.
There you go. It is. Amazon.
And you can go to lulu.com. I think that's the publishing company. You can order it from there as well. Okay. I haven't ordered no books in a while. We
might have to do a book signing, bro. You know what we're going to do, man? We're going to talk after the show. God just dropped something on me. My brother, I want to thank you. Taking time out of your busy schedule, baby. This is only the beginning of Noodles and Coach doing more to help our young kings.
Yeah, I got a lot. I got a lot to say. I wonder,
You coming back? I might have to kick somebody off the schedule because you know what?
I'm back whenever.
Hey, baby, I show. Hey, I show up in Belleville, look for you.
Hey, listen.
You know that.
Yeah, you have to get that 10-piece while you there. No,
12 piece, baby, 20 piece. I'm gonna get it all.
I appreciate it. I know just talking shit. But
so you know what? Hey, man, shout out to my man, Coach Malik Beasley, baby. Whenever you want to come on and spend time with Noodles, if it's just call in, because we about to activate some live stuff, baby. I know you're busy, this, that, and the third. But if you want to plant a seed, because I'm down with your cuz here, baby. Thank you all for tuning in to Spending Time with Noodles. Love, peace, and your boy don't need no hard least.